Welcome again to another episode. I'm your host, Yisbel Bera, and I am here in Rise and Thrive with a purpose. And there's two important days in life, the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. As Twain stated, I love that phrase. And today I'm honored to be here with an amazing leader, coach, book author, and she will introduce herself. Her name is Jess. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Isabel. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, if you can tell us a little bit about you, your background.
Yeah, sure. So I am a real estate broker. I own a brokerage and I also a business coach. From being in the real estate industry, it really led me to coaching and mentoring other people in their business. And I also just this week released my newest book, The 20-Hour a Week CEO, which I'm really excited to talk about a little bit today with you.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for you. I'm actually releasing my first book in January as well. So tell me a little bit about your book.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I know, how much work and stuff that goes into it, but yeah, so the book really kind of breaks down kind of the big things that a lot of people in business, whether it's online business or a brick and mortar business, get wrong. And that's kind of, trying to be everywhere, do everything. And they really kind of fail when it comes to setting up the business foundations. So it really is a no BS book. It's very actionable with step by step. It comes with a workbook. It's not a lot of fluff and feeling. It's very going right through all of the foundations. And also, it really focuses on helping people create the perfect work and life balance that's for them and not based on, media and what you see everywhere else of like how you're supposed to, manage time and, balance, your work and life. So it really helps to make it a more well-rounded, holistic life for everyone.
I love it. I love it. I think I'm pretty sure it's going to be a total success because we are I mean, there's so much lack of life balancing. I know we understand there's no such a thing balance. It's either one thing or the other. But tell me a little bit more about deep on about your book, about how can you get structure? How can you how many entrepreneurs out there get burnout?
Yes, and that's really what led me to writing this book was in my own, business and everything. I reached a point of the burnout because I'm sure you know this and as well as your audience, but we live in a culture right now where it's hustle mindset. Like if you're not busting your butt and working so much, you're lazy and you're not working, right? And the reality is that that doesn't always work. Like you can work so much, you can make tons of money, but if you're not happy, you're not doing the things that you want to do, what is it all worth, right? At the end of the day.
I love it. You touched something so important. Like if you are not fulfilled, then what it's all about. Like
Yeah.
it's wonderful, the numbers, hitting goals, going above and beyond. That is so wonderful. But the most important thing sometimes we forget about, feeling those. If you have kids, what is the time looks like with them? If you have husband, if you have, and if you don't have kids, what is the time looks like with yourself doing the things that you like the most? Uh, Tell us a little bit about that. I don't know if you talk about a schedule, priority settings. If you can tell me a little bit about what is the favorite part in your book? I'm pretty sure all of it is so, especially how special writing a book is.
Yeah.
Um,
And it comes to the fact of putting yourself first. So that's one of the things that we focused on in the book was really, learning about you, what you want, taking that moment to sometimes just breathe, and reevaluate. Why did you have these goals? Why did you start this business? Because most of us start a business because we want freedom, we want more money, we want more time to do what we want to do. And what happens when you start a business? None of that. You end up working your butt off. You're struggling a lot of times. You're not having the time that you want to spend with your friends, your family, your children, your pets. You're not able to travel like you want to do. So it really comes back to prioritizing yourself, your wants and your needs in order to be able to do those other things and take care of others. Because if you're not putting yourself first, you're not really there for other people as well. Like, especially, moms, a lot of times, like we do everything else in the world. We take care of everyone and then we take care of ourselves last. And a lot of times there's not a lot left, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I know how emotional we tend to get when we are writing our book, right? Whether it's your first one. I think it's a very emotional moment because it's kind of like we are looking ourselves in the mirror. At least that's the experience I had, and we get too emotional. What was your aha moment during like one or two episode or chapter that you can tell us, like, okay, this was my aha moment when writing this book?
Yeah, so such a great question. And to be completely honest with you, that was one of the hardest parts was really trying to, take it from, fact, action based and to put that emotion and feeling and to connect with the readers and the other entrepreneurs out there. That was the hardest part. And it was it's so hard to get the things out of your head, or it's easier to have a conversation, right? Like we're doing, than it is to put it into physical words, write it down or type it out. So coming to the aha moments really were like, okay, this is what I struggle with most of this part. But then it was really just trying to articulate, why I wanted to do this, where it was coming from, going back through my burnout, my struggles, and trying to help others not reach that point. I had reached a point where, I was depressed. I was getting migraines all the time. I hated my work. I didn't, at the end of the day, I just wanted to crash. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want anybody to talk to me. So it was really going back to where I was and hoping other people, could take a little bit from what I said and was offering so that they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, wow, wow, that's awesome. And we as successful leaders, we're human as well. There's a point in time, and I always say that successful people like you are, is a decision making between the non-successful people and the one who is successful. It's a decision making. I'm pretty sure you didn't stay there, so that was a moment, and you move on. If you can tell us, or what type of advice can you share with the audience when they are going through very hard times, down moment? If you can share some type of your own experience, how to get out of there.
Yeah, and this is something that can happen multiple times. It's not something, burnout and depression and, crash just doesn't happen, once in a blue moon. And especially if you are, somebody who loves to work and probably overworks, puts yourself last, it happens a lot. So the best piece of advice that I can give you is to schedule time for yourself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be going to the spa or getting massages. Like people always think of that as being the only type of self-care, but it could just be going for a walk, listening to podcasts, reading a book, whatever the you time is for you, to just give yourself that time. Make sure you schedule it on your calendar and really take that time to step back, breathe, and are you doing the best you can for yourself, which will then lead into business and family and friends and everything else, right?
Love it. I love it. Yeah. I will include myself, we tend to forget a lot of time to spend time with ourselves. And we just go, go, and go, and go. And that's when we burn out. And as you stated, it's something that is no one time and that's it. Is something that we have to definitely keep in our schedule to spend time with ourselves. That is so important. And I believe that greatness is within you, and everything starts from inside out. So whatever is inside of you, if you're stable, if you're happy, if you're great, that's where you're gonna give out there greatness and great service and great smile. Because I mean, whatever you're going through, it won't hold too long. You're gonna explode at some point of time. Um, can you share with us some type of structure for any because there's people that watches any type of business for any entrepreneur, even that youth generation that is trying to start a new business. What type of structure you consider is the best when starting up a new business? Yeah.
That is such a great question. And to be completely honest, it doesn't matter, what type of business you have. There's really six foundations that every business should have. And that's really, an offer. You have to have some sort of offer, whether it's selling houses or books or, coaching packages, whatever that is, right? Content, lead gen, sales funnel, customer service, and systems. Now, everything else in a business goes inside of those six categories. Like we can go back to the offer. That comes down to, I know everybody hears this, a vision statement, the I help statements, identifying the needs of whoever needs your offer, right? So that's how those foundations really work. And what my advice to anybody starting a business, or maybe somebody who's kind of lost control of their business, is really to go through these foundations and make sure that they're in place, that they're functioning properly. Do you have systems in place? Because if you have systems and automations, then you're going to get control of your business and you're not going to have to be putting in a million hours to your business, right? That comes to like the content and the lead generation, being on the right platforms and not all of them.
I love it. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone is taking notes right now. And if you want to go back, you can go back and write it down because let me tell you, that's great information, great nuggets for your business, whatever project you're trying to start, like great, great, great stuff. And how did everything start, Jess? Because, everything starts from a point. How did everything start with you? And
Yeah.
who is the most, anyone that inspired you the most when you start your business?
So it's really, really interesting because I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I've had many successful businesses, sold them. I've had brick and mortar, but I got my real estate license over 10 years ago. And through that, I was always very tech savvy, into marketing, and very modern in everything that I did. So, being in a small area, I was very ahead of the game when it came to lead generating and marketing. So, how it got started really was other people were coming to me like, oh my gosh, like I see you everywhere. I see all your content. Like, how are you doing this? How are you getting so much business? How is all of this stuff happening? So it really grew into being a marketing expert, being a business operations expert, and coaching and mentoring others in their businesses to help them kind of get control over it and build that structure.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you touch a lot of things right there, but that is wonderful. And 20 years ago, do you knew what you really want to do, or it just come if you can, yeah.
No, no idea. And I think if you're a creative type of person, that's always very difficult because the fact that you would think, oh my gosh, I would do one thing for the rest of my life and that would fulfill me can be very difficult for a lot of people. So it was really finding something that allowed me to tap into all of my skills and allow me to be creative. So where I am now, as a business coach, as an entrepreneur, and I can create things to help others and I can help them in their business, which is always forever changing, right?
Yeah, of course, 100%. And if you can share just with the audience, where can they find your new book?
Yes. So currently it is available on Amazon. It is a special price right now. It is only available as an ebook, but in about a week or two, it will be available in paperback. So Amazon is the place to go, and it's called The 20 Hour a Week CEO.
I love it. I love it. What a great title. And I am gonna order mine. I love supporting other entrepreneurs and I hope you get your own copy. I mean, this is definitely for everyone should be reading this book for sure. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. One final thought, one final message that you would like to share with the audience.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so fun. And, I hope that, people have taken away a little couple of nuggets, to help them move forward. If there's any, last piece of advice that I can give them is really to just, take that time to evaluate, why you're doing what you're doing and where you want to go. Put yourself first and make sure that you're scheduling that so that you can be the best you moving forward.
I love it. I love it. So, know what you're doing and where you're going. And thank you so much, Jess. I wish you many more success. And my congratulations to you once again for your book. Make sure everyone that you are ordering your copy today. It's available as ebook at the moment and soon will be available in hard copy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And we'll see you into the next one.